What's up, y'all? It's your girl Nina Monet, and I am back with yet another YouTube video for ya. Alright, so I know it's okay. This is my first video of 2020, but it's all good. We're gonna keep it rolling. Recently I have been doing my own healing work and the relationship that I have with my pussy and my womb, and I was doing it because I had come up to um, a place in my life where I was like, you know what? I'm 30 now, and I want to see, what's going on with my reproductive system because, no lie, I've been very disconnected from myself for a very long time. So I wasn't really too much concerned about having kids or wanting to, see what's going on with my reproductive health. And like I said, I hit 30 and I was like, you know what? It's time to grow up, okay? It's time to really make sure that I'm connected, that I know what's going on with my body, that I'm fully in tune with my body, and that my body is able to do things that it's naturally supposed to be able to do, right? And so what got me on this journey was the fact that I have very, very irregular menstrual periods. I was like, you know what? There's something wrong. This is supposed to be a natural process. What's going on? Why is it not happening naturally, right? And so I went to the doctor, and I went to 3 different doctors actually, and they weren't giving me the answers that I was looking for. For me, when I tell you I'm not having a regular period and you tell me that I need to be on birth control in order to regulate the period, that sends signals off in my head like, wait a minute, why is something that's supposed to be so natural for me not happening? And the only way that I can make this happen is if I take birth control. And I'm like, the answer just didn't sit well with me. And my conscience, my pussy, was like, no, bitch, that's not it. We no, don't settle for that. This is something that's supposed to be so natural. And I just felt it. My pussy, my intuition, my gut, all of that was like, no, yeah, no, we're not settling for that answer. And so what I ended up doing was consulting with an herbalist. And what she told me was that since I'd been on birth control for so very long, I literally got on birth control. I believe I was about 11. And so I've been on birth control for so very, very, very long. And so what I learned from the conversation with the herbalist was that scientists use when they're creating birth control, they're testing it out on different animals, right? And so they're pulling the DNA and the hormones from the animals to curate these birth controls, right? What she was telling me was that all these hormones over the years from these animals had been pumped into my body. And my body was not doing the regular womanly things, the functions that she was supposed to be doing, right? My body did not recognize that it was supposed to be doing these things. This new information led me on a journey to healing my womb, to healing my pussy, to healing the relationship that I have with my pussy so that I can ensure that she's doing the things that she's supposed to be doing physically and spiritually. We we're not taught, a lot of these things when we're young girls. And so because of the miseducation, we end up not honoring ourselves, not respecting ourselves, not taking care of our pussy physically and spiritually. We end up totally just disregarding ourselves. And there are so many different things that as a result can happen to our bodies by not being knowledgeable of the things that we need to have knowledge about. And so my baby was birthed, which is Pussy Chat. Pussy Chats is a platform, it's an educational platform for women to learn how to tap into their sacred pussy power through sensual self-care and sexual liberation. With my own research, with my own healing journey, I understand the importance of being connected to your physical and your spiritual pussy, because I realized in my own life that, you know, I was feeling like an imposter in my body because I'm a woman, yet my body wasn't in agreement with the fact that I'm a woman, right? It wasn't doing those womanly things. And so I found myself dishonoring myself a lot. And because of that, I had repercussions that I had to deal with within my body. And so it's been very interesting to hear the different stories from different women about the similarities that we all share and how dishonoring your body really disconnects you from yourself. Now, what is Pussy Chat? Pussy Chat is a group that I started on Facebook. There is an investment to join. However, in this group, we discuss the different things that we need to know about our pussy or the different relationships that we may have with our pussy. And then I also include different tips that you can incorporate into your daily routines in order to really start building that relationship with her, because it is so very vital. Let's talk about how to know when you're disconnected. Some women may feel like because they masturbate, they're connected, but there are so many things that we experience in life, especially in childhood, definitely in adulthood, just over a span of our life. There are things that happen, there are things that we do that are dishonoring to our pussy, and that further disconnects us every time, right? And so, do how do we know when we're disconnected from our pussy power? One of the ways to know that you're disconnected is feeling like an imposter in your body, and I can't really hear the voice of my intuition or the voice of my pussy. I can't really hear it. When I get the thought or I hear go left when I'm driving and I go right, that's dishonoring to your intuition because you didn't listen, right? Or you just don't know the voice of your intuition. And sometimes we hear a voice and it sounds like us. It's so clear, but it's like, oh man, that was just me having a thought. And most times it's not you having the thought, it's your intuition speaking to you, but it sounds like you because it's within you, right? And so when we don't listen to that voice, we're disconnected, we're dishonoring, right? Another way to know that you're disconnected from your pussy is not being comfortable with really touching yourself and getting in tune with yourself to see what it is that you like. What are your pleasure points? I hear a lot of women say,
Sex ain't all that great with him. He don't know how to make me, or she don't know how to make me orgasm.
I mean, it's like, do you know how to make you orgasm? Right? Because a lot of times, most times, especially for those who are raised up in the church and under the Christian religion, we were taught that touching ourselves and masturbating, it's sinful, it's lustful, you don't do it. And so many of us become cut off from the most important thing, our pleasure, our power, our pussy, right? So how do you know you're disconnected? You don't want to masturbate. You don't want to touch yourself. And if you do, you're ashamed of it. You don't talk about it, or you may feel feelings of guilt when you're done, or you just can't orgasm. You can't make yourself orgasm. Another way to know that you're disconnected from your pussy is not being able to be creative. We are creators. We are divine creators on this beautiful earth, in this beautiful universe. We are divine creators. And so if you're not able to just tap into your creative juices and just let them flow, yeah, you're disconnected. You're disconnected from yourself. And so I don't want you to remain in that disconnected space. I got you, girl. We gonna get connected to these pussies today. All right. I love saying pussy. It's so invigorating and erotic and a bad word. And I'm such a rebel. And yeah. So 3 things that you can do to begin to connect with your pussy today. Here we go. First, journal. thing I tell every woman that I talk to in regards to healing her pussy is you'll want to get a journal, right? You want to keep up with the journey of the healing. And so you want to get a pussy journal. Pussy journal, something that makes you feel good, maybe something pretty, something feminine, something bright, something that makes you want to pick it up and say, yes, I want to write in that. Actually, mine is bright, very pretty, very flimsy, so I can just flip through it and literally have been writing. But, you want to get something that makes you want to write. But yeah, you definitely want to journal the journey. You want to ask yourself different questions like, what have I been through? What has she been through? In what ways have I dishonored her? In what ways has she been shamed? Have you been through any type of sexual assault? What has she been through? What has her journey been like? How many partners have you been with? Journal the experiences, journal the emotional experience that you've had with your sexual partners. And don't shame yourself for the number of partners that you've had. Don't shame yourself for the things that you've done. All we're doing here is holding ourselves accountable and being aware of what she's been through, right? All right. And step number 2 is to really meditate with her. Meditate with your pussy. I like to call it sensual meditation. And so with this meditation, you're really just sitting with her, one hand on your pussy, one hand on your heart, and really just getting in tune, learning to listen to her, learning to listen to the language. What is her language? What does she sound like? How does she speak to you? Everyone's experience is different. And so you'll want to know your own language, her language, right? And how does she sound when she talks to you? How do you know when it's her? And so to really be able to get comfortable with knowing what that voice is and getting used to hearing it, you want to meditate with her, right? And so the third step is daily communication. Like I said, it goes back to learning her language. Well, once you begin to hear her language, or maybe you don't hear it at first, right? So you want to start doing a daily communication with her. Just continue to, hey girl, how you doing? The one thing that I'm always telling my clients is the first thing about getting to know someone is what? Their name, right? And so you want to just sit with her. Don't try to name your pussy. Don't try to name her. She already has a name. She already has a full blown personality. Don't try to name her. She will tell you what her name is when she's ready. And so every day, just meditate until she gives you that information. Hey girl, just checking in. I want to get to know you. I want to deepen the relationship. I want to heal you. I want to get this thing rolling. You know what I'm saying? And I want to know your name. Really open that line of communication between you and your pussy so that you can truly get to understand what it is that she needs, what it is that she desires, what her pleasures are, what her dislikes are, And by building this relationship with your physical pussy, it will deepen the relationship with your spiritual pussy, your divine feminine, your womb diverse. It will definitely deepen that relationship, and then it will open the magical portals that is within. Because at the end of the day, your pussy is a magical portal. And that's why you want to be so careful as to making sure that she's always in a place where she is being honored, loved, and respected. Make sure you're in constant communication and building that relationship that has been long ignored and suppressed because we weren't taught. Don't blame yourself because of miseducation. Do not blame yourself. But it is time to start holding ourselves accountable. And what's a better time than now, right? Alright guys, if this video was at all informative to you and you know someone that can definitely use this information, please make sure to share this video with them. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your love and light and being here on this earth. Believe me, you are more needed than you know. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you in the next video.